Maniga the Bawa Jingada Tamina don't want to look at us with it. Niyama Sambogu Mutavido Kenya Shopo Lady Savoli and a lady Kyoto, Madibia Devo. Are you bogus? See, I said, she came years or Shumapa. Say it that she came calling Mamba. You know, you told me to you, Mamba, so that who was the last 2 years ago, she was. It is so the little Mutavido. Senior Shotel Kama SADHU legend who bounce up video for the Chile. She lived in Biavama.
Yesterday, Sayadawgyi spoke about how to do walking meditation in terms of the 3 characteristics, sabhava, sankata, samanya, the 3 characteristics. And he didn't finish yet, so today he will continue. There are other phrases, sentences that explain how to do vipassana practice. As soon as the object arises, apply effort, aim, observe steadfastly. The mind becomes clean, free of fault, and this is truly good. Cause and effect, mind and matter, one comes to know these things. So Sayadawgyi will speak about, in terms of theory and practice, what happens during the walking meditation.
George Lanze Chaze George Lanon Charo Yedo Di Kaitanima Nanayo Tiare Turtle Pinua. The two connect to Nanayo Tiare. The Liavi Jonah to Sessa Pinula Yuna Tiare Tidia. She don't say her like the shoe of fire. Keeping my level by your kilo. The Bawa Matina. The chicken level you with a kilo of Yavo, called him up for one for the She don't say here, Peter as well. Going at yes, Gia the one. Let only Salima Tima Liasico, your name, Mare Taluave Korea Kitoki Salibo Pumini Shini Kama, like the Tima Tulepo, Chelapo, take the Jiva Silly Nikanoya Trouble for See, I say so. Adama. None you to a bit of shame. George cannot night. George is a George. George Naga Nama. George you Oku. Big people of 10 years ago. Organic, don't pay it. You. In the viewer, she have Georgia night, Georgia Naga, Nama, Joraga, Rupa. The Kujani, Kiro Shea, Dilema, Amia Nale, Amia Sweat Poku Tatua, Yokami Mama, who's a dating Shara. Atama Hoku, so let's take in Shara. Jiwata attention gonglim ho husura tinshara. The Hodaga Bale Lusura. Georgian and Nadia Sinzan. Joy of Sinzan. I see the Vogu, Gulu, Tributan, Nida, Madio. Among the Uzology and very South Tiro. Take the love phone in Yasiha. Take the love phone in Yingwim. A shame of me, Alessibara. Yimimalo. Taking Sada to the other one, Uru Waramina. A lawyer, Mahoda, let show me that I Guru Tripla Bavana to kill a book with Maro. Through a tiha, take the love only the Messido. Tell a few a mamati already shouted out. Had a ways I called a mamati, she, a ways I fitted to the Agudu veteran. More about it, I would say pit or at a pit or I go where Mayuna, I got no tapas or a pagori. Say her Kulure Ayuma Magima Jaya or Katara Saitara Lamsido Udija Saravani Udija Sara Ayuma. Go adora, heart or listen or Udija Korava. Nezo Moa Eriga not about Udija Kore. I would say they leave you around. The deed Lotay Diamond, the Rimishi Daima. At a party matter. Kilobagri Poguri Masoreshi. Tashina says in but Tashina says in but Tashina says in Chip Yanni about.
While lifting, while moving, while placing, while standing, in these moments, mind and matter are occurring together again and again. If we want to know them as they are, then we have to observe while they happen. After they happen, the true nature will no longer be apparent. Before they happen, true nature hasn't materialized yet. So only while they are happening can we observe them and know. Just like when we want to see lightning, we have to observe it. We have to look at it when it happens. And if we look, we'll see. If we look at the moment it happens. So it's very important to observe when these things are happening with alert awareness. The mind has to be alert and active, not slow or sluggish. So at the moment of lifting, what lifts, the lifting is body, and the intention to lift is mind. The intention to lift, the mind because occurs, and the lifting up, the leg pushing up from below, going up bit by bit. This is physical. So the intention to lift is mind, and the lifting, the leg lifting, is rupa or matter. When we see these individually, when we are able to discern that there is both mind and matter separately, then it's obvious that there is no person in there. There's no self and there's no soul. What is there? There's just a series of intentions to lift and a series of matter, the foot going up bit by bit. But because we don't know, because of not knowing what is really there, then because of not knowing what is really there with the method of satipatthana, then one doesn't know, or one knows in the wrong way. And an analogy is an eye that has cataract. When there's a cataract on the eye, one may not see it all, or one might be able to see something, but not clearly. One doesn't know really what one is seeing. And without satipatthana, people know in the same way that people with cataract see. They don't see what is true, or they know it in the wrong way. And not knowing what is true, this is ignorance, avijja. This is unwholesome. Together with this, automatically, there will be a lack of shame regarding unwholesomeness, that is ahiri, and a lack of fear regarding unwholesome things, that is anotapa. And there will not be any establishment of the mind on the object. The mind will be separated from the object. This is restlessness, or udicca. And at minimum, there are these 4 unwholesome mind states occurring when we don't know what is there. Every time sati is missing, these 4 mind states will be there. And in ordinary people, there are the stream of consciousness may be clean, pure, or it may be unclean, unwholesome. And for the most part, in ordinary people, the stream of consciousness is unwholesome.
Now, what about the other Kajaro? That's in a secret. Akona. Sayadawgyi Kriga Tamari Akona. I did it boy, my body. See, I said, Chindaga, you don't follow, you go my secret. Did he really pick or they come from? Kriga Tamari, they pick or other. A lady at the cooler who sits up, you know. A king yala, you see. Ona attack on Maho, attack on Maho, so the body. None no Hotaga Bale, so. Joazaganaba Bonida, none you bears the body, it things. She died teaches at the sea. Mashigo, she looked at it, Burmese. Timamu Haboli, Edaha, Mashido. Now, Joazekana, like Georginaga, and Jordaga, you. Attack on Maho, attack on Maho. Pura Nana, you bears or a shin of it. Sadhavo and in knowledge Hayavada. Tutamia, Nina, knowledge Hayavada. As the Tamyan, he gave it a letter, a good shoe. Nayu possess Shumakwe မြင်လွဲဒိဋ္ဌိပြုတ်တယ်သူပေါ်စေမှာကိုဆရာဆိုင်ရှင်းသားခဲ့ပြီးတော့မှတ်လို့တခါမှကြွကျင်တဲ့နံတရားစီစိတ်ကကတ်တော်မယ်သူစပြည့်ရှိလို့တခါမှကြောက်ရွံ့ပေါ်မှာစိတ်ကကတ်တော်မယ်စိတ်ကရအာယုကြည့်တော့တာပဲဒါနံသဘောပဲဒါကယုတ်သဘောပဲဆိုတော့ဒီသိသွားနိုင်တယ်နယုတ်ပေါ်စေရှုမှတ်ခွဲရှုမှတ်လို့ရှိရင်ကွဲလာတာပဲတခုနဲ့တခုမရောဘူးရှုမှတ်ခွဲအမှန်မသိလို့အလွဲကြီးလျှောက်သိတာလည်းမရှိအမှန်သိတော့တာလည်းပဲအလွဲသိလည်းမရှိတော့ဘူးတော့ကွဲတော့တာပဲတော့ယုံနာနှမျိုးကိုတခါလေကွဲပြီးတော့ရှင်းနဲ့သိတော့တာပဲအဲဒီခါမှာအတ္တဒိဋ္ဌိတဲ့ကြော်စေခဏမှာတကယ်ထင်ရှားတဲ့နာမယုတ်အပေါ်မှာပဲငကိုကပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တ attva အစွဲရဖြစ်ခွင့်မရတော့ဘူးအဲဒီဖြစ်ခွင့်မရတာကိုပဲပြုတ်တယ်ပြတ်တယ်လို့အဓိပ္ပာယ်ရပါတယ်မရှိပဲဖြစ်သွားတယ်ဆိုတာပါပဲအဲဒီအတိအလေးတွေရအောင်လို့သေချာရှေ့ကြွတာကစားပြီးတော့နောက်ဆုံးတဲ့အထိကိုစိတ်အားစိတ်ရှင်းသားကြပြီးတော့ရှိရမှာရပါတယ်
Making respect for the practice sakacakirya and constant practice satachakirya a priority. While lifting, one notes lifting and observes steadfastly. One has to work like this. And before knowledge occurs, if the mind sticks to the lifting object, then it won't run anywhere else, and this is good. When we can observe a lot like this, with the mind staying with the object, the pure mind becomes strong. And in technical terms, the khanika samadhi, momentary concentration, becomes good. Because of applying ardent effort and accurate aim, sati arises, and following that, khanika samadhi, momentary concentration, arises. And when this happens many times, when this type of consciousness occurs again and again and again, constantly, then one comes to understand that there is no atta, there is no self, no soul. What is there? Lifting is just body and mind. When we know it as it is, then the wrong idea that we had can no longer occur. In the moment of lifting, what lifts is the body, intention is mind. There's no person or soul, no woman or man. The lifting is just body and mind. So one needs to understand this theoretically. This is sutta jnana, knowledge that's accomplished by learning. And then we need to come to know it practically through the practice. And doing this, when they occur, observe, discern. When mind and matter occur, observe them, note them, and discern. So when we observe the lifting and we come to discern, see clearly the distinction between mind and matter, sometimes the mind will know the intention to lift. Sometimes the observing mind will know the lifting. And at that time one will know this one is This one is mind. This is matter. When they arise, observe, discern. So discerning means that one sees clearly the difference between these two things. One sees them correctly, not in the wrong way. One discerns that there is mind and matter. And at that time, at the moment of lifting, the belief that one had to begin with, the belief in a self, in a soul, it has no chance to arise. And it's said, because of this, it is removed. So in order to gain this knowledge, one has to apply ardent effort and accurate aim and focus carefully on the lifting from the beginning to the end.
အဲ့ဒါလို့စာပွဲတွေကတုံးကလေးဖက်ကလေးတွေအရေးကလေးအတီးတီးသူတို့အရသာတွေရှိကြပါလားသူတို့မှရှိနေတဲ့အရသာသိကျင်လို့ရှိရင်တုံးလေးတွေဖက်လေးတွေအရေးလေးတွေတောက်ကြည့်လိုက်ဖို့တတိထားပြီးတော့ရှားပေါ်ရောက်သွားလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒီအရသာတွေထွက်လာတာပဲအရသာသိတာပဲအမတ်တမဲနဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့မကြည့်ဘူးပေါ့လေအတုံးလေးကိုဝါကြည့်လိုက်အဖက်ကလေးကိုဝါကြည့်လိုက်အရေးပါးဖို့ရှားပေါ်ရောက်လာလို့ရှိရင်တိကျသတိထားကြည့်လိုက်ချက်ချင်းရတာကြည့်တော့ပဲဟုတ်ပါဘူးအဲ့ဒီသဘောမျိုးလိုပဲကြောက်မှုလေးတစ်စင်ပြီးတစ်စင်အဲ့ဒါလေးမိမိရတာပါဇာတရောက်တဲ့အတုံးလေးတွေဖာလေးတွေရေးဖို့တတိထားလို့ရှိရင်ရတာကြည့်လို့ပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒီအပိုင်းလေးကိုမိအောင်မှတ်နိုင်လို့ရှိရင်ကြွတဲ့ခိုက်တာမှာဘာလေးဆိုတော့နားလည်လာတာပဲခုနအတုံးလေးတွေဖာလေးတွေဝါကြီးတို့အရသာကြည့်လို့ပေါ့လေဘာလေးလို့ဆရလို့ဆိုထားပါတယ်ဇာပွဲထဲမှာပါတဲ့ရတာနဲ့တူတယ်အရသာနဲ့တူတဲ့သဘာဝကလေးတွေရုပ်သဘာဝတွေနာမ်သဘာဝတွေတခုတော့သိလာတာပဲအဲဒီလိုအဆိုရှိပါတယ်သူကတော့ဘယ်လိုပုဂ္ဂိုလ်မျိုးမှလဲဆိုတော့ရိုသေတဲ့စိတ်ဆက်ဆက်နေပါလေမိမိရမှတ်တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်သိတာပဲမစင်စားတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်သိတာပဲဒါပါလေဘယ်လိုလဲဘာကြောင့်လဲဆိုတော့လုံးနေရင်တော့မသိနိုင်ဘူး
Similarly, in food and drink, there are unique flavors. And if we want to know the flavors that are in the soup or the food or the drink, then we have to put it in the mouth. And when the food reaches the tongue, then we'll know the flavor. If we don't pay attention at the time of eating, one won't know the flavor. But if we put the food in the mouth and chew it carefully, then when the flavor reaches the tongue, then we'll know the taste immediately. And lifting is similar. If we pay attention to the lifting, time and again, if we can catch this movement at the moment it is happening, then we'll come to know what the lifting is. Just like knowing the flavor of food. The true nature that we can observe is called not only sabhava but also sarasa, which means that this true nature is like a flavor, that it has its own flavor. And when we observe the lifting, we will either know the nature of matter, rupa sabhava, or the nature of mind, nama sabhava. Who is it that comes to know these? It's the person who practices respectfully and constantly, who observes so as to catch the objects, not reflecting. If one reflects on why it is happening, how it is happening, or what is it that is happening, one won't be able to be in time for the objects. One won't catch them. So the person who works precisely will be able to know the nature of mind and matter.
အဲ့ဒါကိုပဲဆက်ပြီးတော့ရှုပါများရင်မကလေးတွေကောင်းလာတော့တိက္ကစ္စကရိယာဆိုတာယူသေးသေးလူမှလို့ပေါ့လေဓမ္မနဲ့ဓမ္မဆက်ဆောက်လည်းပဲမှတ်လို့ရှိရင်မကလေးတွေလည်းစိတ်လာတော့စိတ်လာတော့တစ်ချိန်ကြွစေခဏမှာကြွကျင်တာကအကြောင်းနာဆိုတာပေါ့လေကြွတာကအကျိုးရုပ်ဆိုတာပေါ့လေအပေါ်ပြင့်ပြီးတော့မိမိပြီးတော့တက်လာတဲ့အကျိုးရုပ်တရားဟာအကြောင်းမဲ့ဖြစ်တာမဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုတာအကြောင်းနဲ့ဖြစ်တယ်ဆိုတာပေါ့လေအဲဒီကဒိဋ္ဌိပြုတ်သွားတယ်ဒီလိုအကြောင်းနဲ့အကြောင်းကြောင့်ဖြစ်တာလည်းပဲကြွကျင်တဲ့နံတရားကြောင့်ကြွရုပ်ဖြစ်ရတာဆိုတော့ပေါ့လေသူရဲ့အကြောင်းမှန်ကိုလည်းသိသွားတယ်အကြောင်းမှန်သိသွားတော့ဟုတ်လားဖန်ဆင်းရှင်ဆိုတာလည်းငကိုယ်လေးကမရှိတာကိုရှိလို့ထားတော့အဲဒီအယူဆလည်းပဲပေါ်မလာတော့အဲဒီအယူဆလည်းပြုတ်သွားတယ်အဲဒါကြွတဲ့ခဏနဲ့ကြွကျင်တာကအကြောင်းလားကြွတာကအကျိုးရုပ်ကိုယ်ကိုယ်ရသိသွားပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကြွရုပ်အစဉ်စဉ်ဟာဖန်ဆင်းကမဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုတာပါလေတကူရှိတယောက်ကဖန်ဆင်းထားလို့ဖြစ်တာမဟုတ်ဘူးကြွကျင်တဲ့နတရားကလည်းပဲဖန်ဆင်းကမဟုတ်ဘူးဖန်ဆင်းရှင်မဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုတာပါလေကြွတဲ့ရုပ်ကလည်းဖန်ဆင်းကမဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုတာပေါ့လေရှင်းသွားတယ်အကြောင်းမှသိတာနဲ့အကြောင်းသိတာနဲ့အကြောင်းပဲအာဟိတုကဒိဋ္ဌိဆရာအကြောင်းကြောင့်ဆရာအကျိုးသိတာနဲ့ဝိသမဟိတုကဒိဋ္ဌိအကြောင်းမဟုတ်တဲ့အကြောင်းလို့ယူထားတာပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒါလည်းကျင်းသွားတာပဲဒီလိုကြွစေခဏနဲ့ကြွကျင်တာကအကြောင်းလားကြွတာကအကျိုးရုပ်ဖန်ဆင်းကမဟုတ်ပေါ်တာကြောင်းကျိုးတာဟုတ်တယ်ပေါ်နေတဲ့အကြောင်းနဲ့အကျိုးတရားပဲဆိုတာကောင်းကောင်းသိသွားရဲ့ကြောင်းကျိုးပေါ်စေအကြောင်းနဲ့အကျိုးပေါ်စေမှာအခုလိုနည်းနဲ့ရှုမှတ်လို့အကြောင်းကြောင့်အကျိုးဖြစ်ပုံလေးတွေရှင်းရှင်းသိသွားပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ခုနဝိจิကိစ္စဆိုတာပေါ့လေတနည်းအားဖြင့်ဝိမတိမဝေခွဲနိုင်တာမဆုံးဖြတ်နိုင်တာပေါ့အတိအကျအဲ့ဒီမဝေခွဲနိုင်တဲ့အယူဆတစ်မျိုးလေးပြုတ်သွားတော့တာပဲဖြစ်ခွင့်များတော့ဒီမှာလက်တွေ့အကြောင်းကြောင့်အကျိုးဖြစ်ပုံသိနေပြီလေအဲ့ဒီကတည်းကလည်းပြုတ်ပြီပေါ့ကိုယ်ကျင်တဲ့စိတ်ကြွကျင်တဲ့စိတ်အစီအောင်ကြွရုပ်ဆင်းတယ်လည်းပဲအကြောင်းနဲ့အကျိုးသူအကြောင်းနဲ့သူအကျိုးဆက်ဆက်ပြီးတော့ဖြစ်နေပုံလည်းသိနေပြီလေတခြားအဖို့အကြောင်းမရှိတော့ဘူးဒီမှာငကိုယ်လည်းပဲဖန်ဆင်းရှင်ဆိုတော့လည်းမရှိတာအရှိလို့ထားတာပဲအဲ့ဒါရှင်းတော့တာဘောဒီမှာဝိမတိတဲ့တူလောမဆုံးဖြတ်နိုင်တော့တွေးတောမှုတွေအဲ့ဒါတွေရှင်းသွားတယ်ဘောလေဒီမှာ
If one continues to observe this, the noting will become very good. And with sakacakirya, working with respect for the practice, one behaves like a sick person moving slowly, and one practices trying to observe again and again with continuity. And so one after another, one observes and the observation becomes constant. So one comes to see in the moment of lifting The lifting is effect, or matter, physical effect. The intention is mental cause. So the going up of the foot, the way the foot lifts up, it doesn't happen without a cause. It's not without cause. So one comes to eliminate the view that things happen without a cause. This is called ahetuka ditthi, the wrong view of causelessness. One knows that it is due to the intention to lift that the lifting occurs. The cause is the intention and the result is lifting. So one knows the true cause of lifting. And because of that, one no longer believes in any other cause. One doesn't believe that it's created by a creator. That idea is removed. In the moment of lifting, the lifting is result and the intention is cause. So when we know clearly that that it's not without cause and it's not created by a God. The intention to lift is not a creator, a supreme being. The lifting also is not a creator, a supreme being. It's clear. One knows the cause for lifting to occur, and therefore the idea that called visamahetuka ditthi, that there's another cause, a fictitious cause, it's called the fictitious cause view. This type of idea is eliminated. In the moment of lifting, what lifts is the effect, physical effect. The intention is mental cause. So lifting, it's not without cause, not created by a God. Lifting is just cause and effect. When cause and effect arise, if we observe them and know them clearly, then doubt, vichikecha, or vimati, this inability to decide, doubt and indecision, these have no chance to arise. When one knows what the cause is in reality, then one won't accept any other cause. One knows that only the relevant cause will lead to the relevant effect. Only the intention to lift leads to the lifting. Before, when one didn't know, one inserted a cause. One didn't know that things happen by cause and effect, and so one had the idea that there's a creator. But now one knows how it really is, and one is free of doubt about how things really happen. One is free of indecision. This is called vimati, the inability to decide.
အဲဒီလိုနာနဲ့ယုံနဲ့နာကြောက်နဲ့ကျိုးဆက်ဆက်ပြီးတော့ဖြစ်နေတာမြတ်တုံဖတ်တဲ့အခါမျက်လုံးပြည့်ပွင့်တဲ့အခါအသေးအဖွဲအမူအရာလေးဖြစ်တဲ့အခါမျိုးမှလည်းပဲအဲ့ဒါတွေကသူ့အလည်းသူအချိုးကျပါနေတာပဲအဲဒီအသေးအဖွဲလေးတွေကအစနာနဲ့ရုပ်ကြောင်းကျိုးဆက်ပုံလေးတွေကြည့်ရင်အသေးအဖွဲလေးတွေကြမလို့ရအောင်တတိထားပြီးတော့ရှုမှတ်ရပါတယ်အစပိုင်းတော့ခက်တူဖြစ်ပေမဲ့လို့လေ့ကျင့်မှများလို့ရှိရင်နောက်တော့လွယ်ကူလာတာပါပဲဘယ်လောက်ပဲခက်ခဲတဲ့အရာပဲဖြစ်ဖြစ်လေ့ကျင့်ပြီးပါလေ့ကျင့်ရင်နောက်တော့ကျွမ်းကျင်လာတာပဲဒါဓမ္မတာပဲသူကတော့ဘုံဘောကဆရာဆက်ချိန်ကြိုင်မြဲစွာရှိမှပါယုံနာနှမျိုးကြောင်းနဲ့ကျို့တည်ရုံမှပါဆိုတာပေါ့လေဝိရိယတတိသမာဓိတွေအားကောင်းလာလို့ရှိရင်ပထမခဏိကသမာဓိအားပြည့်လာမယ်ခဏိကသမာဓိအားပြည့်လာလို့ရှိရင်ယုံနာကွဲတည်မယ်ဆက်ပြီးတော့ရှုလို့ Uriya Tati Samadhi the Agam Yanushi, John Jodi Lame, Karate Java, Era Koga, Sizaluti Mofu, the Gulu Avani Pogama. Say I say, Chindaga Vido, Sozon Shulu, the Titamari, Noga Laila Vido Titi Dorava, Sizalu to Tibum Level. Now, Yogi, Diana, Sinzavane, Pola the Mibia, say I say, Chindaga Vido, Malo, Sozon Mapazra, take tomorrow.
Like this, mind and matter, matter and mind occurring together as cause and effect. Just like they occur in actions like lifting, so too they occur like this in when we blink our eyes or open or close the eyes. Mind and matter, cause and effect are also happening at these moments. And if we want to know how this happens, starting with the very small actions, we have to do these minor actions with awareness. And at first it's difficult to apply our effort and aiming to observe these actions, but later it becomes easy. No matter how difficult something may be, if one practices so that one develops one's skill, it becomes easy. When the rising arises, apply effort, aim, observe steadfastly. Mind and matter, cause effect. To know these is correct. When there's effort, and following that, mindfulness, sati, and then momentary concentration. When one applies one's observation and continues to observe, one comes to know mind and matter. And continuing to observe, one comes to see how these are related as cause and effect. This is sure to happen through the practice. So we don't come to know this because of reflecting or analyzing. It comes about because of steadfast observation, accurate aim, ardent effort, bringing about sati, then samadhi, and knowing follows. So Sayadawgyi urges you, don't reflect, just observe so as not to miss the arising object.
As a Uriya Tati Samadhi, Akona Lucia, the Dipatana Toma Piata, Urona Pio, Samachana, Sambajinya, Sabajinya, Sam Mamagandira. The case she will get out of Mamagandira, Nanayo to a villa. Chowna Chotuasia, Dabluma, Aloy Tira, Luma, Yelomia, Download Sanchana, Mamagandira, Tito Village, Mapimata Tira, Pivita, the Pivisum Tira, Pivisum Tira, Sanchina, Sayadawgyi Tira Mahu, Sayadawgyi Tira Mahu. Kuren Kuja Adolu Kurendira Sanjina Tira Atinya Tongyo Twagatama Mamagana Timu Tijen Pivisum Tijen Kuren Tijen Era Ruma Yelum Yaro.
Like this, when virya, sati, and samadhi, effort, mindfulness, and concentration become good, what occurs is sampajana or sampajanya, as said in the Satipatthana Sutta. Sampajanya Sam is a prefix, it means correctly. Samjanya means to know correctly what really is there, to know mind and matter, to know how they are related as cause and effect. This is correct, one can't deny it. So samjanya means to know correctly, one meaning of it. And one not only knows correctly, but one knows completely. This too is samjanya. And one knows not because the teacher said it or we read it or someone who knows told us. We know for ourselves. So this word samjanya has three meanings: to know correctly, to know completely, and to know for oneself. And no one can deny that this is so.
ကျော်စေကာလမှာအဲ့ဒီလိုတိသွားတဲ့ဘာတွေတိသွားတယ်ဆိုတော့နာနဲ့ရုပ်ပေါ့ကြွခြင်းနဲ့နာဆက်ဆက်ကြွရုပ်ဆက်ဆက်တနည်းအားဖြင့်ကြွခြင်းနဲ့အကြောင်းနာဆက်ဆက်နဲ့ကြွရုပ်အကျိုးဆက်ဆက်တဲ့အကြောင်းနဲ့အကျိုးပေါ့လေဒါတွေတိသွားတာကိုယ်ကိုယ်ပြပြတိသွားတာဘလုံးမတွေ့ရှုပ်ရှုပ်ဖြူကြီးတိတာမဟုတ်ဘူးအဲဒါပတ်ကျင်ရလို့ခေါ်ပါတယ်ကိုယ်ပြပြနာနဲ့ရုပ်အကြောင်းနဲ့ကျူကွဲပြပြရှင်းရှင်းလေးတိသွားတာတဲ့ရိုးရိုးစဉ်းစားတိတာမဟုတ်ဘူးစပါလို့တိတာမဟုတ်ဘူးဟိုတိတွေကတမညာတိပဲဒီတိကကြွတဲ့ကာလမှာဘောလူသတိဖြာအနည်းနဲ့စိတ်အားစိုက်ချိန်သားခဲ့ပြီးတော့မှတ်လို့အဲ့ဒီအာယုံမှာတတိလေးကပ်ပြီးတော့ခဏိကသမာဓိတွေအောက်ပြည့်လာတဲ့အခါလက်တိတာထူးထူးခြားခြားတိတာသူကတော့ပတ်စင်ရဆိုတာထူးခြားခြားတိတာနာနဲ့ရုပ်နဲ့နော်ကိုယ်ပြောလည်းတိတယ်ထူးခြားခြားလည်းတိတယ်အဲ့လိုဒီပဲရပါတယ်ဆံပြအဲ့လိုပေါင်းလိုက်လို့ရှိရင်ဆံပြညာအရာမမန်ကံကကိုယ်ကိုယ်ပြပြသိခြင်းပြည့်ပြည့်စုံစုံကိုယ်ပြသိခြင်းကိုယ်တိုင်းကိုယ်ပြသိခြင်းသုံးမျိုးရနိုင်တယ်မမန်ကံကထူးခြားခြားသိခြင်းပြည့်ပြည့်စုံစုံထူးခြားခြားသိခြင်းကိုယ်တိုင်ထူးခြားခြားသိခြင်းတဲ့အဲ့ဒီအသိမျိုးကမှတခဲကိုယ်ပဲအသိလို့ခေါ်ပါတယ်ဒါတော့တရားထုတ်တယ်ဆိုတာကိုယ်ထဲမှာရှိနေတဲ့ကြောင်းကျိုးတဲ့ယုံနာတရားတွေစာသိတွေးသိတာမျိုးမဟုတ်ဘဲနဲ့သူပြောလို့ပြောနေသိတာမျိုးဖြစ်ဘဲနဲ့အဲ့လိုသိကြတဲ့အသိတွေဖြစ်အောင်လုပ်တာဆိုတာပေါ့လေနားလည်ရပါတယ်
When we know like that, in the moment of lifting, what is it that we come to know? We come to know mind and matter. Mind occurring in a series, the mental intention occurring in a series, matter occurring in a series, the lifting occurring in a series. So we come to know this. What we know distinctly. It's not mixed up. One thing and another are seen very, very distinctly. And this is what is meant by pajanya, in pajanya, to know distinctly. One knows mind and matter as two separate things, two different things, when one knows cause and effect as two different things. Clearly. And one doesn't know because of having read about it or having heard about it. Hearing about things, reading things, this is just an ordinary way to know things. We come to know because at the moment of lifting, Applying effort and accurate aim, sati arises, and then khanika samadhi, momentary concentration, and this momentary concentration becomes strong. Then we know. So the knowing is special. We know in a special way, not an ordinary way. So there are these two meanings, knowing clearly and knowing in a special way. And if we combine the meanings of sampajanya and pajanya to get the full meaning of sampajanya, it means to know correctly and distinctly, to know completely and distinctly, to know distinctly for oneself, or to know correctly in a special way, to know completely in a special way, to know in a special way for oneself. So these types of knowledge that arise are our own knowledge, and we should understand that we work to bring this knowledge about practically, not theoretically. We try to learn this in a practical way.
Anupassana aya famantata timi bu de timi jin so ba le. Alega timi la da mo ba ku. Wa jwa mu ayong li po lai ja ne edi si puri bin sai a sai mu. Che ko ku pa ba ba le. Sai a bi ro ri mo tati kata. Tati ma ya ba le che ko ku pa ba ba le. Santa Bole Pada Vale, Juezum Husravole. It was a great sight, Kaliga Tamari, Tari Pavare. Era Api Valuchi, Sampidina Ayavali, Dinia Lady Pola. Hello, Poyara. Changing Kila Yoshi, take it Sakaria. You did Shupalu. That is Sakaria. Sisi Sasa Tamanatama Makwaya, Shumalo, Suraboro, Tiboma, a Chang Shaluya Vale. Any Changni, Maki the Miado, Pay Roma, Chong Hade Kama. Kaliga Tamari Lemachin, Kaliga Tamari Machina was a routine, Eddie Josekanama, Yonena, Jango Sebo, Lemadi, saying that young Brahman Valley, Baba Madi Kitchen and Maradama. Kido, a lot who Pirotom as a routine. Tejade, Amagan Yashide, Jew, Yanainda, Velu. Yogi Tarushi, son of Yuvia Tavido, a logo, you did a logo. Sisi Satamanetama Sesa, Mafosra, Yogi Mataon Shide, Sarabadi. Unit Taon Tion Longheimer, Aro. The gate, a sheep Madiago, Chigansa Vido, Tina Sarabadi. So Mapuya, do a delay, Puya, Lily and Tapido. Joade Kala Mavoli, Sadhu and Letty Pausapido, Shilling Timpavare. United Lone Javade. United Lolo. Tizia Lady TV Roche. Yetabuda Nupasana Pawendo. Samoa Pili with some Pasa Tisore, Jangan and Yiboli. Chowna Joe. She did a how would shoot to TV solution. This was two without this was two without ယုတ်ရှိတယ်လားယုတ်မရှိတယ်လားအတ္တကုန်ရှိတယ်လားမရှိတယ်လားဆိုတာပေါ့လေဒီဆိုတူမရှင်းလည်းမပြတ်သားတဲ့တွဲပြီးတော့ဖြစ်နေတဲ့အတ္တဒိဋ္ဌိပေါ့လေအဲဒီအတ္တဒိဋ္ဌိပြုတ်တော်မှာပါဘောဆာဆာလို့လို့ရှိရင်တော့ပြင်းထန်တဲ့တွေ့ဝမှုလည်းပဲမကင်းမရှင်းလည်းမပြတ်သားတွေ့ဝမှုမကင်းဘူးလို့ရှိရင်မသိတာတွေကများနေတော့တကယ်ရှိနည်းနည်းရုပ်ကြောင်းကျိုးဆက်ဖို့လည်းမသိမသိဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဒီတိုင်းခရီးတော်ရတာဟာအယူဆလမ်းလွဲတွေရောက်နိုင်ပါတယ်လမ်းမှလို့ထင်ပြီးတော့ပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒါတွေလွဲသွားနိုင်ပါတယ်အခုလိုလမ်းမှကိုအစတွေ့ထားပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒီလမ်းမှကိုရှောက်မှစကမ်းမှာရောက်နိုင်တယ်ဆိုတာပေါ့လေတစ်ဆင့်လဲတိုးပြီးတော့သိကြဖို့ပါပဲအဲ့တော့ဒီနေ့လမ်းမှကိုစာတို့နဲ့လက်တွေ့နဲ့ပေါ်ပြပါတယ်အဲ့ဒီလမ်းမကိုတိတိကျကျရှောက်နိုင်ပြီးတော့တကယ်အေးချမ်းတဲ့စကမ်းမှာဆက်အောင်ကြိုးစားနိုင်ကြပါစေလို့လေးလေးနဲ့တိုက်တွန်းရတဲ့ဒီနေ့တရားအဆုံးသတ်လိုက်ပါရစေ
The meaning of the word anupassana is repeated observation or repeated knowing. And this anupassana, repeated knowing, observation, does not come for free. When the lifting arises, in order to get the mind to the object, one has to apply ardent effort. This is one element. Due to effort, sati arises. So it is said satima in the text. There's also the factor of sati that is needed. And further, there's the jhanic quality of aiming. One has to have focused aiming. And the mind falls collectively on the object when these are present, ardent effort, mindfulness, and accurate aim. The mind falls collectively on the object. This is kanika samadhi, momentary concentration. This also must be present. And when these factors are full strength, then knowledge arises. So if one looks at what the cause is for knowledge to arise, it happens due to respectful practice, sakacakirya, respectful observation of the object, and satachakirya, observing so that one moment of awareness is not separated from another, so that they happen one after another without gaps in between. Without these causes being present, then momentary concentration will not arise. And if momentary concentration does not arise, there won't be any knowledge. One won't come to know mind and matter, nor how they are related as cause and effect. So if one is going to do a task, one should have faith that one can get something valuable from doing it, and desire or zeal to get the valuable results. Knowing this, the yogis have the responsibility to observe with respect for the practice and trying to gain continuity or constancy. One needs to do as instructed in order to know what really is there as it is, and so that the yogis will know how to work. Sayadawgyi has talked about in the moment of lifting what happens in terms of theory and practice. So if yogis do as instructed, applying the instructions as mentioned, then what will happen is yatha bhutan. I don't know, I can't say the Pali exactly, but what happens is that by seeing things as they really are, through the practice, one dispels the intense delusion. The intense delusion that doesn't know whether there is a self or not. The very sick, wrong view that exists. Through the practice, through seeing things as they are, this wrong view falls away. This intense moha, intense delusion falls away. If one works superficially, then although one may know from time to time, not knowing will be in the main, and one won't come to know mind and matter. And then one's journey is going along the wrong way. One can miss the right path. So one needs to find the start of the correct path and follow this correct path in order to reach the place that is safe and peaceful, the destination of the right path. So Sayadawgyi urges all of you to be able to work so that you can follow the right path and to do it according to the instructions so that you will reach the safe place at journey's end. That's all for today.